Welcome to Living with Victory Ministries podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Teague's Grocery and Corner Cafe at 130 Soco Road in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. In a moment, we'll join Tony and Laureen Giorgio with today's message.
There's a promise coming down that dusty road, and from his holy hand, healing virtue flows. He's got the keys to what you need. Death and hell he will defeat. Oh, there's a promise coming down that dusty
road. Teague's Grocery and Cafe, serving Maggie Valley since 1965, with delivery now available through Grubhub. Teague's is Maggie Valley's only grocery store. They're located at 130 Soco Road near the eastern entrance of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Drop in for breakfast or lunch at the Corner Cafe, featuring a variety of daily specials. Teague's Grocery and Cafe is open Sunday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Call 828-926-1147. Teague's Grocery and Cafe, sponsors of Living with Victory.
Welcome to another edition of Living with Victory, where life is about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain with peace, joy, victory, perseverance in the midst of your storms, because, like we say, Jesus is our umbrella. Check out our website. It has a lot of information on it about us. Okay, livingwithvictory.org. All right, livingwithvictory.org. You can link up to the radio station, listen to live broadcast, YouTube, GodTube, and we have our PayPal where you can make a donation if you like. And I want to introduce my sidekick, and she has the word of the day, the topic, and we're going to get on with a lot of things that we can all associate with right now. That's for sure. Hi, Laureen, go for it.
First of all, thank you for joining us. I'm happy that you are with us. Can we still trust God in the night when things are going totally wrong, backwards, chaotic, the season of night? Can we trust him? Isaiah 43:2. Now, this is the Amplified Bible. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned or scorched, nor will the flame kindle upon you. This is such a wonderful promise from God. And you know, that wonderful Bible, the book that he has given us, his instruction book, it is so full of all of his promises. I know a lot of us believe in God, but do we believe God for his promises? Do we believe that when we pass through the waters that he will be with us? And through the rivers, that they will not overwhelm us? Do we believe that when we walk through the fire, we will not be burned or scorched, nor will the flame kindle upon us? These are wonderful words and promises, but do we actually take them to heart? Do we live them? Or do we just read them as, oh, this is really great, and then pass by them and get into our lives, and things are starting to go wrong, and then we start grumbling and complaining and sometimes even blaming God. Why are you allowing this to happen? You know I read this twice, but I really wish you would look up the verse yourself, Isaiah 43:2. And really read it, and read it out loud over and over again until it really gets into your soul and your spirit, until you find yourself believing the one who said these words.
Do you really believe what's written, or are you believing it on Sunday morning and forget about it by Monday when the dark clouds hit. When you pass through those waters, and I have to read it just for myself, I will be with you. That's just not idle chatter. This is the Bible.
Think of who's saying he will be with you.
That's right.
The I is the God of this universe who created this universe.
The I am. I will be with you, and through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned or scorched. Look at what he's saying. And think of what happened to our Lord. Look at what he's promising you. Why wouldn't you want to trust the Lord Almighty who overcame death and the devil?
People will say, oh, I won't ask anyone to do what I won't do myself. Well, Jesus did die.
Yep.
He did it himself. He went through all of that torture and shame and actually died on that cross for you and me. And when you think about it, he didn't come down and do anything for himself. If he's willing to do that, and he did it without complaining, and I'm sure that when they were beating him and spitting at him, he wasn't saying, oh, well, this is a walk in the park. I'm being a little inconvenienced here. It's not the walk in the park I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I'm being a little inconvenienced. I'm in pain. My Father is turning his face from me because I have all this sin on me. I think he was a little inconvenienced.
A little, yes.
So why, if he could do it, why can't we? We have the same Father. Psalm 42, 8 through 11. Yet the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime and in the night. His song shall be with me, a prayer to the God of my life. Okay, now he's praising God.
Yes.
In verse 8. But 9, he says, I will say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me?
Yeah, well, that was quick.
Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword crushing me in my bones, my enemies taunt and reproach me, while they say continually to me, where is your God? But verse 11, why are you cast down, O my inner self?
Yep, he's talking.
And why should you moan over me and be disquieted within me? Hope in God and wait expectantly for him. For I shall yet praise him who is the help of my countenance and my God.
He ends it on a positive note. He knows without a shadow of a doubt.
So he knew who his God was, and he knew where his help came from.
Yep.
We are human, and we get tired, and we get discouraged, and we do start to complain. But we have to try to stop that and start to give God the glory. Then we will get back to where we need to be with the courage and walking with him, because he promised that the waters would not overwhelm us.
Exactly. And while we were planning and doing this right now on my computer, on my Facebook, a friend of ours posted this, and God works in mysterious ways. This fit perfectly, and I've got to read this because Joni Dixon, sweet lady, sweet minister, she wrote this here, and she knows very well about trusting God in the night. But it says things to remember when going through tough times, and that's what it's all about. In that darkness, everything can and will change. Nothing stays the same forever. You've overcome problems before. Yep, they come and go constantly. It's a learning experience. Yeah, you'll get stuff out of it to know don't go near that fire again. Not getting what you want can be a blessing. Oh, yeah. Allow yourself to have some fun. And that's something we have to learn in 53 years. Work. We got to broadcast. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. And you get caught up in that busyness. And I think we did a program on that last week or so.
We did.
And then it says, being kind to yourself is the best medicine. Yeah. Don't browbeat yourself. Don't beat yourself to the ground on what's gone wrong, what you've done wrong. Don't do that. The best thing is to lift yourself up. You just keep going with that perseverance. And other people's negativity isn't worth worrying about. And there is always, always, always something to be thankful for. And this is a lady who, believe me, knows what the darkness is and has been through the darkness. And God bless her. She is a staunch child of Jesus Christ. As longevity goes, with us, we're really, we're molting, but that's beside the point. You look back and you say, that was bad, but the good that came out of that, we learned. Yes. We learned, and what we did is we passed it on. That's why we do this on the air.
This living with victory, God has given this to us. At first, it was an idea that was growing in us, and we know we didn't put it there.
No.
God gave it to us, and when God gives you something, it starts to burn in your soul. You may try to ignore it for a while, but God has a way of speaking to you until he gets your attention. Now, it has become our passion, and we become a part of it, and it becomes a part of us. You can't just let go of it, but that doesn't mean everything goes smoothly because God gave you something to do.
That's right.
You will have your challenges. You will have your nights.
How we walk through the path he has given us means more to him than actually reaching the goal.
Exactly.
So, if we don't reach 10 billion people, so what? If we're helping one person listening to me this morning.
Doesn't have to be across the ocean. We also enjoy our neighbors. If you have problems, that's why we're here.
We're trying to give you the benefit of that because you name it, we've been there.
When you first start a project, you're all excited about it and you're just moving ahead. You're just going straight ahead and everything is working for you. Then all of a sudden, there's a wall in front of you.
And you hit it, and you hit it hard. When he says, that he is with us, he is with us. You need to keep talking and walking with him. And most importantly of all, keep thanking and praising him no matter what happens. I stubbed my toe. Well, thank you, Jesus. At least I know I'm awake and I'm alive.
At least you had a toe to stub.
That's right. I had a toe to stub. Thank you. But in today's world, you can walk and talk with him anywhere, on that iPhone, on that computer, anywhere. There's no excuses. You got it all at your fingertips. Exactly. Use it. Don't tell me you don't have time. It's not just a Sunday morning thing.
We lately have had a lot. Chaos has just broken out all over. There's been one problem after another problem after another. But just like you say, I don't understand because we don't have the mind of God. We can never understand why God allows certain things like he did with Job. He allowed all of those awful things to happen to him, but then he restored him double. When the chaos hits, you have to be solid in who you are believing in, who you believe in order to go forward, because even though you know it, Satan really tries to discourage and make it look darker than it actually is, because all you do see is the darkness. You don't see any light, and that is a season of night. It is a total season of night, and it may not last a month. With us, it's almost lasting a year, and,
it's been a tough.
But I could start to see things are opening up better now, and you start to ask yourself, what did I do wrong? But that doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
He knows the future. He knows what you may encounter, and you have to be prepared. You have to go through that fire and to be molded into what's needed for the next step. You look back over your life when events make you think you would never get out of that difficult circumstance. Think about it. Did God intervene? How we walk through the path he has given us means a lot more, like I said before, a lot more to him than actually reaching the goal. It's how you persevere through that fire.
When the urge to quit becomes so strong, what do? The word persevere actually tells us what to do, and persevere or perseverance is throughout the Bible. Persevere means to continue in a course of action even in the face of difficulty or with little or no prospect of success. Persist, continue, carry on, and just keep going. Main thing, do not quit.
This past year, between car accidents, illness, hospital stays, financial debacles, missed a whole fundraising season, couldn't get the money in fast enough to pay the bill. All kinds of things, But we persevered. We kept pushing. And if you look for God in those times, like I said, you'll find him, no matter how bleak it was. Even into this year, I know we haven't made our financial goals. We need plenty of help in that area, but we're moving forward.
Can we still trust God in the night? The answer is a huge, resounding yes. The difference is that we have God to look to bring us through. We're not walking through alone. He doesn't want us to go through it alone. He wants to be a part of us. He wants to be a part of every area of our lives. He says he will be with us. He's not just saying, here's the problem, I'm leaving you on your own. And if the God of this great universe wants to walk with us, how could we lose?
I was in the hospital just before Christmas, right, with the bronchitis. Right. I couldn't breathe to save my life, okay? I was sick. I was hacking. And I'm hooked up to all kinds of medicines and you name it. 5 days before Christmas, there I am, But I got to minister to more of the staff sitting in a sick bed, barely breathing, than I did out on the street, and had such a wonderful spiritual experience in that hospital with so many wonderful God-fearing people who were going through their own trials. They'd come in and we'd start talking, and before you know it, they left laughing.
We have a choice of how we're going to handle our challenges.
Exactly.
Are we going to do it grumbling, or are we going to do it with a smile on our face? Are we going to trust God, or are we not going to trust God? He gives us the choice. Even in Proverbs, he says, I set before you life and death. And he tells you, choose life.
That's right.
And he is life.
This ministry right now, we're so far behind. We're like $20,000 in a hole. We're moving forward. We're going to get that $20,000 before the end of 2019. I know that without the shadow of a doubt, but I don't have it right now. And it's kind of scary because you say, well, how can you do anything? You don't have the money. He has all the riches in the world for me. He's going to do it for me because I know there's somebody out there listening who, with their eyes closed, could write a check for $20,000, or there's 100 people who could give us a portion of it. I know those are possibilities that he's going to work out. Perseverance in the Lord, in your faith, that's where it's at.
The way you get through is by talking and walking with him, and most importantly of all, keep thanking and praising him. Psalm 16, 7 through 11. This is David again speaking. I will bless the Lord who has given me counsel. Yes, my heart instructs me in the night seasons. God is giving him counsel. He is not leaving him alone. I have set the Lord continually before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Okay, that means we're not going to walk backwards.
Nope.
We're not going to sit down and say it's not going to work. We shall not be moved. Therefore, my heart is glad, and my glory, my inner self, rejoices. My body too shall rest and confidently dwell in safety. What is the main thing that we really want is to feel safe. No fear, no anxiety. Yes, you don't understand everything, but you know the one that does, and you could rest in him confidently and not feel fear. For you will not abandon me to the place of the dead, neither will you suffer your Holy One to see corruption.
Wow.
When you're following God's commandments, and you're doing and obeying him, he is saying, your Holy One, to see corruption. You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. See the darkness of the night, but in that night there is joy. And at your right hand, God's right hand, there are pleasures forevermore.
When we were in Orlando, I don't know if you heard us talking about a young woman, Jessica Bell. The year before, she was struggling with the fact she may have a tumor on the brain. Well, when we went down again, Jessica had an operation to remove the tumor on her brain.
Yes.
We went to the rehab where she was and visited her with a little stuffed toy and a few things. But the point is, Jessica, over the years, lost her mother to cancer and two sisters, one at 9 years old, one a little older than she was. And this girl, to this day, praises the Lord without a doubt about everything and what she was going through. And she was really sick. When we went in there, she had just had the operation.
She was in so much pain.
She was in pain. She was hurting. But it was always Jesus is her umbrella.
Yes.
And now, okay, here I'm telling you the darkness, all that darkness, she misses her family terribly. In fact, this is the anniversary in May. Her mom died, her sister died. Same time frame. That year, she lost both her older sister and her mom. And we knew the whole family. We knew her since she was 12 years old. We helped out the family. She is home now, recovering, and she sent a picture on Easter Sunday with her walker. She went to church on Easter Sunday with her Bible, and a friend made a wooden cover for her Bible with the inscription on it, "He will never leave me nor forsake me." This is what it's all about. If Jessica Bell, in her 30s, a young woman, can go through the loss of an entire family, have cancer twice, 3 times, I think, in the operation, she's all alone. She's by herself, her and her Jesus, because he said, "I will never leave you or forsake you." If she can do it, we can do it. I know that because we have the same God.
Whatever problems you may be facing, with Jessica, it happens to be illness. Yours could be financial. It could be drug or alcohol abuse, or your children aren't where they should be, or whatever it may be. I don't know. But all I know is there is nothing that God cannot help you with or be with you, but it's up to us to turn to him and make him the God of our life.
That's right.
If you're looking at something else that's going to help you, maybe, like I say, financial, you've lost your job and you're looking at the state, or you're looking at anything other than God, because he's over everything. He has different ways of making things work out that you may not even imagine. We're trying to say is look up.
That's right.
Keep your eyes on Jesus. Don't let them fall down and look at your problems around you and what your options are there. Let God lead you to where you need to go. And then when you hear or you feel that's what you have to do, just obey him.
You know, yeah, you have to understand, you know, we're not just telling it, sitting here, you know, just Oh, well, we don't have a care in the world, and we're telling you, you do it. We don't have to do it because we got it all. I tell you what, if I don't read my Bible and sit down in the mornings and concentrate, I'm a mess. I can't put up with any of that. You have to realize we have the ministry. We have the finances. We're trying to downsize the house. It's too big for us. We're getting too old for this. There's a lot that you're going through that we're going through all at one time. We cleaned up the yard after the debris of the last storms we had. A week later, that storm that just passed through here, or don't you think the maple tree decided to have a branch fall?
Drop another limb.
Twice the size, and poor Wes, God bless him, comes here to help us out. I got to call him again because I still have a mess. It's in there, but perseverance and trusting in him and reading that word, I can tell you, because I was never a reader. I was the filth of the earth. I mean, I was a nothing, But 53 years ago, God said, I got to straighten yourself out. I'll put it politely. I got to send you a mate who's going to keep you on track. And wow, let me clue you. What a difference. Well, I got a punch in the face like I'm exaggerating here to let you know it's a wow thing. Knowing God is a wow thing. It's an awakening. It's a shock to the system. That's a good shock. It's a good shock. It's the most exhilarating experience when you're so far down. And I was far down a lot of times. But my good Lord, he's shown me all around him with people like Jessica and with Katie and Frank. We went to visit another family.
Yes.
The kid was 12 years old. He's 30 years old now, severe cerebral palsy, but he's alive and well, happy. He's a happy child. He's a happy man. And so's the family. The family's come quite a ways. And we sat down and had a great talk. After 30 years, that's pretty good to sit down and meet people and know that they're doing well.
God has given us these little lights of joy.
Yeah.
So, you had, like I say, it's a choice. Where are you going to keep looking?
Yeah.
In your night, you have little lights of joy.
And you have to look for them. That's all we're saying, folks. Persevere. Jesus is your umbrella. Remember that.
If your life feels like pieces of a broken puzzle, walking through Living with Victory's website will guide you with hope and encouragement. Each page has information to put the broken pieces of life's puzzle back together again. You will find food for your soul, peace, and joy. Here you will find Jesus is the answer. You will learn who Jesus is and why he loves you so much to go to the cross for you. You will learn he wants to be your closest friend, walking and talking with you every moment of every day, and help you put the pieces of the broken puzzle back together to make you whole again. You can listen to our podcasts on your favorite platform. Read Laureen's articles of hope and encouragement. Purchase her book of God's promises for your life. Contact us for prayer or read about his love for you. Visit today at livingwithvictorync.org.